In the West, there have been two major political ideologies competing for dominance for some time. Depressingly, the movements in favor of these ideologies have been spearheaded mainly by people who don't actually believe in them, and even more depressingly, by some people who do actually believe in them. The ideologies in question, of course, are capitalism and socialism. Capitalism and socialism could not be more different. While capitalism has been most notably advocated for in books like Atlas Shrugged, written by an upper-middle-class European who was kicked out of her home country, socialism has been most notably advocated for in books like the Communist Manifesto, written by two upper-middle-class Europeans who were both kicked out of their home country. Both of these ideologies claim to be the solution to humanity's political travails. Capitalism postulates that it's a waste of energy for a government to abuse its citizens when the citizens are perfectly willing to abuse each other. It also postulates that certain islands around the world should be designated as tax havens so that self-made third-generation zillionaires can save up for a pet tiger. One of the most important pillars of capitalism is the idea that businesses that do not perform well should be left to go out of business, unless they are very large, in which case they should receive billions of taxpayer dollars as a reward. Healthy competition between failing corporations for taxpayer money drives innovation and industriousness. Capitalism also promotes competition between members of Congress for personal relationships with business moguls, ensuring that institutionalized corruption is not top-down, but rather spurred by the initiative of the smartest and most hardworking crooks. This stems from the central capitalist idea of individualism, which isn't even that centralized. Socialism, on the other hand, postulates that power within a country should be consolidated into a giant omnipotent government for the good of the working class. This rests on the premise that, historically, giant omnipotent governments have done a great job for the working class. As a government grows larger and more powerful, socialism argues, the working class gains more freedom. The way this works is through the redistribution of wealth. In a socialist society, wealth is redistributed from the most wealthy individuals to the government, whereupon it disappears. The ultimate goal of socialism is the disappearance of all money, which will, theoretically, bring about a classless society. There is a school of thought that promotes a mixture of capitalism and socialism called centrism. Centrists subscribe to the political philosophy of keeping their jobs and not alienating their loved ones. The pillars of centrism include having a mortgage, going skiing in Colorado, and coaching Little League baseball. Centrists stand by the political winds with great conviction. They incorporate elements of capitalism, like starting your own business, with elements of socialism, like getting the government to pay for it. In the grand scheme of things, centrism functions as a tempering force, preventing society from becoming infested with new ideas. Within each of the aforementioned factions exists a loose ensemble of angry people with empty personal lives, known as populists. The great crusade of the populists is to prevent people with experience and wisdom from infiltrating the ranks of the government. Populists believe that no university degree is a substitute for thousands and thousands of grueling hours spent watching YouTube videos. They are, above all else, against having a government doomed to failure by its own nepotism and snobbery, and would rather that it be doomed to failure by things like incompetence and French Revolution-style chaos. The West leads the world in political thought, not least because it has managed to replace religious squabbling over books that no one's read with economic squabbling over books that no one's read. The West has shown, if nothing else, that you don't need to know very much about an economic theory to base your entire personality around it. It has also shown that the natural conclusion to centuries of pillaging the developing world is sitting in a podcast studio in Los Angeles, arguing about German philosophers and mispronouncing their names.